Hello, and welcome back to the Calm and Connected podcast. I'm your host, Janine Halloran, and today we are departing from what I thought I was going to be talking about today because of everything that's happening with the coronavirus. So I know people are probably sick and tired of hearing about it, but I felt like I wanted to put something out there to help families who are struggling right now. So I've been working the last few days on a couple of online resources, and I wanted to share some of the thoughts that I've put together that I think would be helpful for kids and families as they're dealing with being at home for long stretches of time. And this is an unusual, sort of unprecedented situation that we're all dealing with, including myself. My kids are home until April 7th, at least at this point. And so we're all learning how to deal with all of this. So one of the things that I just recently did was put together a coping with coronavirus on my Coping Skills for Kids website. So I wanted to share some of the things that I put on there as coping skills that can be useful for you. So the first thing is to be able to label your feelings. This is really challenging. You may feel sad, you may feel excited because you get to stay home for a little bit of time, you may be anxious, you may be worried, you may have a bunch of different feelings, and all of that is okay and actually kind of expected and normal and typical in a situation like this. The thing that really helps is just naming it. By naming it, you can tame it. That's what Dr. Dan Siegel says, and I love his work. So one of the first things is just to identify what you're feeling. Talk about it, say it, share it. It's okay to feel anything. It's okay to feel angry. It's okay to feel sad. It's okay to feel scared. It all matters what you do with those feelings. The second thing is, there's nothing like this to tell you and show you what you can and can't control. So a good exercise is to think about the things that you can control and the things that you can't control. And when you're looking at the things that you can control, like how you react to people online, or how you are at home, or how you choose to set up your daily schedule for yourself or your family, those are things you can control. So to really identify the things that you can control and then make a plan about it. Figure out a strategy to use. If you are struggling with something, like maybe you're missing friends or maybe you're feeling a little bit lonely, so then make a plan. What are the things I can do when I'm feeling lonely? How can I contact people even if when I can't see them? So you can, maybe potentially FaceTime them. You can do video calls via Zoom or Skype. Maybe you can email them. Maybe you can call them. Maybe you can have kids can play together on an online game and be able to chat and talk through there. And figuring out what will work for you and your family. And another strategy that I really want to make sure people think about is doing something that is fun. So using distraction skills are fantastic. I love coping skills that are distraction focused because this really helps you give yourself a break. When your brain is in fight, flight, or freeze, and a lot of us are there, one of the things that you can do to help you get out of that is to do a distraction coping skill. It gives your brain a break. It gives you an opportunity to get out of fight, flight, or freeze. Plus, it is a stress reliever. When you are playing, when you are relaxing, when you're doing something fun, you're relieving your stress. So I would emphasize with both kids and adults that we all take some time to play. And what play looks like is different for every family, different for every person. I put together a list of play ideas over at encourageplay.com, and I will link to that in the show notes. But over there, I have ideas for younger kids, I have ideas for older kids and teens, and I have some ideas that you can use online. So there's online virtual tours of museums that you can take. You can take field trips to the different zoos, and you can maybe take some classes online. There are some great resources over there, and I will continue to update those resources as I find more, as people share more with me, as I come across more. I want to make it easier for people to have a central resource where they can go and just look up a bunch of stuff. For example, Mo Willems is doing drawing with kids every day, which is so cool. Katie Hurley, the author of the Happy Kid Handbook, did say that she was going to do some Facebook Lives reading books together for little kids. It's fantastic. There are tons and tons of people creating resources that we can use online, which I think is fantastic. So as I run into those, I will add those to the Encourage Play website as well. Also, when it comes to distraction, I think it makes sense to take a break from TV and news. We are being overloaded with information. So turn off your notifications. Don't look at the news for a little bit. Take a break so that you can get yourself back and relaxed. The final coping skill that I want you to think about is gratitude. And I know it sounds kind of weird to be thinking about gratitude at this time, but it actually is really helpful. It can help you sort of manage toxic emotions, help you regulate yourself, and help you think more positively, because this is a really challenging, tough, extremely exhausting time. So to be able to be grateful and to be thankful for little things, like I was thankful because it snowed a little bit this morning and it was beautiful. I'm thankful for coffee. I'm thankful for my guinea pigs because they're making me laugh all the time with their little squeaks. So, thinking about those little things throughout the day, trying to focus on the things that you are grateful for instead of focusing on all the negative and bad things that are happening. It's super easy to do that. It takes more time and effort and energy to try and think about the positives, but I think it will be most helpful in the long run to really help deal with all of the big emotions that we're all feeling right now. So also over at the website at Coping Skills for Kids, I have a bunch of resources about talking to kids about coronavirus, talking to kids with anxiety and ADHD. There's a little comic strip. There's a couple of videos from some great ladies for resources that you can use to talk with your kids about coronavirus. So I hope you find those helpful. Another thing that I wanted to share and do for my community was to make the family activities ebook full of coping skills and feelings activities free. So that usually is $10, but I'm making that available for free, and you can find that at copingskillsforkids.com. If you have any questions or have resources for me, please feel free to email me at info@copingskillsforkids.com. It might take me a few days to get back to you, but please know that I am going to be checking it. It's just going to be a little bit challenging in between everything that we all have to do and all that balancing we all are doing right now. If you like this podcast, please feel free to share it with your friends and colleagues and give us a rating and review wherever you listen to the podcast. And one last thing, don't forget about yourself. Please take a few minutes, even if it means hiding in your closet and having a cup of tea by yourself for 5 minutes. Take a few minutes, have a little fun, and have an awesome day.